Some of the best remedies for you physically and even maybe for your soul are the ones handed down in your family.
That's right. Author Roni Capin Rivera-Ashford has put that life lesson into her latest book, My Tata's Remedies. She is here to tell us all about it. Now, Roni, this is actually your third book.
Yes, it is. It's very exciting.
And we have them all displayed here, and they're just gorgeous. Now, tell us about your new book.
Thank you. My newest book is published by Cinco Puntos Press, and they've done some wonderful books in the last 30 years, and I'm very proud and excited to be working with them. And this book actually got also some wonderful endorsements. One from our very own Dr. Andrew Weil. Well, we like to claim him in Tucson, but he's very international. And also from our late former governor, Raul Castro. And he gave an endorsement because his mother was a healer. She was actually a certified healer in the state of Arizona and also a midwife. And there are also many other wonderful endorsements on the back of the book. It's an exciting story. I worked a lot with my editor to really make it flow as not only a family, but a neighborhood, and a neighborhood where the grandfather imparts a lot of wisdom along with the remedies and a lot of caring for his grandchildren and his neighbors. And then Nana, the grandmother, comes along and she makes wonderful empanadas, sweet bread for everyone who comes through their door, to offer them sweet bread and hot chocolate to make them feel comfortable.
Well, so we covered Nana. We've got the grandfather. Are you working on another book? Maybe Tia, Tio? Who else is coming in?
Well, actually, I have a few other Nana's books written already. One is called In My Nana's Kitchen, En la Cocina de Mi Nana, and it has recipes. And I'm hoping that will be my fifth book. My fourth book is already written. It may need a little bit of fine-tuning, but it is the biography of the life of Raul Castro. And it's written more for children, maybe older children, but adults will love it as well because it's very factual, and I wrote it with him. And he wrote a letter that will be at the front of the book. So it's very special to my heart.
Well, Roni, you're most definitely on a roll with your gorgeous books. Let's talk about, again, your latest book. How do you think it's different than maybe other children's books out there about grandparents?
I think it's different because number one, it's in 2 languages, and most books that are out there about grandparents are not in 2 languages. And then it is also not just the emotional component and the intergenerational tie, but it also imparts a lot of educational information, and it's a preservation of natural remedies, of how we can cure ourselves through nature. And then at the back of the book, you will find an herbal remedy glossary that was written by an herbal medicinal doctor who is a professor in El Paso, Texas.
And so when we were talking about these being children's books, for this latest book, what age range do you think would be able to kind of grasp all these concepts and really enjoy it?
Okay, so I was also a teacher before I became an author, and that's why I started writing, actually, because I was writing books for my students, or stories for them to be able to read in whatever their home language was. My Tata's Remedies, I would say independent reading is 3rd or 4th grade, depending on the level the child is reading at. Of course, to be read to them, I think a child as young as 4 or 5 years old, because the person who's reading it can adapt the story. And then I also believe that all of my books, I tell people, are for ages 3 to 103 because they may be intended for children, but they are nonfiction. So there's a lot of information that everyone can learn from. They're great family books. And at the back of every book, there is an educational glossary, which is intended for older students, junior high, high school, and adults.
Well, I love that. And these books are actually available locally at several locations. So
yes,
can you
they
tell
are.
us maybe some of those locations?
Sure. There are signed copies at several restaurants, Guillermo's Double L, Rigo's Northwest, and Los Jarritos. Also New Life Health Center on Speedway. They are so excited to be carrying these books. And then, of course, lots of places around town like Barnes & Noble, Antigone's, the gift shops at the Desert Museum, at the Arizona Inn, at Tohono Chul, so many places around town. And in Tubac, Quetzal of Tubac Art Gallery and Home Furnishings, and in Nogales at the Milagros store.
So I love that it's at so many different locations. And in a moment, I'm going to tell everyone when they can actually hear a reading of the book. But Roni, first I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us these wonderful books.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely.
It's an honor.
Everyone, you are invited to the reading of My Tata's Remedies on August 22nd at 11 a.m. A percentage of the sales will be donated to the Angel Heart Pajama Project. To get the book, you can visit butterflyheartbooks.com or cincopuntos.com as well.